Hey, here we go. Welcome, folks. It's 8 o'clock. It's the magic hour. I'm sitting here in my green screen studio, way hidden in a deep part of, a recessed part of New Jersey. Hi, I'm John Peasy, and welcome to Cool Crap We Love, episode 11. And tonight is going to be too much fun because we have Larry Wilcox with us, who, by the way, we're just speaking to off the air, is a wonderful guy. I always say this is the kind of guy you want to hang out and have coffee with, and he's that kind of guy. So we want to welcome you. Thank you all for showing up. And before we get started, tonight's theme is going to be the shows from the 70s that were more or less cop shows, which we all grew up loving and enjoying. And in order to get started, we're going to need to bring on, from a hot, steamy upstate New York room, my partner in crime and co-partner here, Mr. Walt Pupa Pipalio. I believe that's how you spell it. Hi.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Number one, take that picture off of there. Me sitting in a chair with a big fat stomach with that salmon-colored shirt on. Every time I get in trouble with the town that I work at, they put that picture on the front of the newspaper.
Do they really?
That's the one. Get rid of that one.
They don't know I make up the promo for these shows, so I was grabbing all these things off the internet, and I said, when I throw these up tonight, he's going to be laughing his ass off.
I did. Especially that one. I hate that one.
That's the one with the paint. Well, there's a couple other ones I'd be embarrassed about as well, including your MTV T-shirt tonight. What's that? What's that over? Oh, I love it. It's cool. Yeah, wow. I remember that. I remember when that was moving and popular in the 80s. It was like, whoa. Big. It was big, yeah.
There's still an MTV. They just don't play. They don't play videos on it anymore, right?
But it was groundbreaking in the 80s when Blondie went out and all these.
Yeah.
MTV came out as a music channel, and I remember it was great. It was great.
Music television. That's what it was.
Yeah, but then it came out, and then it just kind of like went south later on, and I don't know. It was really cool in the beginning. How
you know what the first video was?
The first video? No, what was it?
Video Killed a Radio Star by the Buggles.
Wow, that's a. I give you one of those.
That was the first music video on MTV.
Is it really? I also remember there was a rocket shooting off to space during their promos. Remember that?
Yeah,
that was a big thing.
This would be up on the moon
in 3D. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was really cool.
I remember it. And you spelled my name wrong in the promo too.
Did I really?
Papaleo. You put the I after the L instead of the I before the L.
I say it wrong every night. The least I could do is spell it wrong. I mean, come on.
How am I ever going to get famous?
Hey, look at that. Another night with John. Hey, welcome, guys. Hello, Latifa. Hello, Cher. Hello, Nancy. Hello. I see you. I spy you.
Sue Walsh, you see, Sue is the reason we have Larry Wilcox, by the way.
By the way, again,
Thank you, Sue.
Larry's a very cool guy. I could tell right now. I want to bring him in as early as possible because he's really easy. No heavy lifting. He's a real nice dude. Very cool guy.
Easy breezy.
Right. It's cool. So tonight, no, I didn't. This is interesting because I haven't looked at the photos that you prepared.
Okay.
For tonight's show. Generally,
You'll know.
And I don't know what's coming up. And I wasn't a big fan of cop shows. There was one cop show I did like the most was the one with the guy with the eye. He was like, I'll figure out that and
Columbo
and Kojak.
Oh, and Kojak. I don't know if I gave you Kojak.
It was Kojak or Kolzjak or something like that.
Well, Kojak was Telly Savalas with the lollipop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Night Stalker. I'm sorry. What was that one?
Oh, that's Kolchak.
Kolchak.
I didn't give you that one.
I'm trying to
check the Night Stalker.
I'm trying to display my ignorance slowly at the beginning of the show. So okay, yes.
Yeah, for Columbo is let me ask you this.
Hey, look at this.
Why would you be wearing red shoes on a Tuesday night? That's what Columbo would do.
Thank you, Tiffany Wilson. Columbo and Kojak.
Columbo and Kojak.
We have a new listener, William Hubber. Why does William have a woman's face? Well, it's 2020. William, you could be a woman if you want.
It's what's downstairs that counts, really.
That's the truth. It is what's downstairs. Once again, excuse me. I have a cough button here. There it is.
I got one too.
That's my COVID hand.
COVID button.
The COVID button. Yeah. Speaking of which, I did a show today. This is so stupid, unrelated here, but real quickly, I'm doing a show today in Staten Island, and in the middle of my show, it's a camp with families, and middle of the show, they said, you have to put your mask on. I had the dummy out, and they got to put your mask on. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I got the dummy out. I'm talking with the dummy. You got to put it on. There's an inspector here. I'm like, okay. And I'm putting on this mask. And
not you, the dummy.
Over me. And I'm talking with, and a guy comes over to checkboard and looks around, and everybody in the room wearing masks, the separations. And he's like, check, 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 check. And I'm over there going, hi, everybody. And the dummy's like, I can't hear you. I'm like, oh, hello, sir. It's so stupid. Then the guy left. I got to take the mask off.
I got to be honest. I can be a ventriloquist if you could wear a mask over your face.
It's this classic ventriloquist joke now. However, it was just stupid that it actually happened. It's just so stupid. I was socially distanced by these people by at least 100 feet, never mind 30. Try to connect with people that are at the other end of a place, like you can't even see you. You can move I could say bottle of beer, and Peter Piper picked a peck of pebbles, and they couldn't see because they were so far away, even with young eyes.
Far away.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, but they had the show. They had the show going on. Yeah. They heard it.
They had it, yeah, and it's all good. It's all good. Look at this. Somebody wrote, if you keep awesome guests like Larry Wilcox, we'll be regularly watching. You see that? People love Larry.
BJ Economos.
Yeah, apparently that's what we need to keep this one guy coming in.
That's what.
Everybody else doesn't matter, but he does. Thank you.
We're trying, man. We're trying.
Yeah, here we are.
So see who else you can get us for next week.
That's right. You hook us up. So, anyway, let's bring up let's talk about, that's why
randomly pick them up. Randomly pull one out.
That's not good. Let's randomly pull one out. So I'm bringing up the first one. Okay.
McLeod.
He was very popular. So
Dennis Weaver. Yeah.
Now
he was if I'm not mistaken, he was a New York City cop, correct? I don't know. Whatever county was in Metropolis.
Okay.
But he used to drive a horse.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I mean, I probably watched this, but I thought it was something that we should bring up because it was rated PG. And it's just something different. It wasn't like somebody on a motorcycle. Anybody could ride a California Highway Patrol motorcycle like the Chips guys. But the McLeod guy had a horse. And he had a really... it's not like you just pull up to a gas station and fill it up. You got to feed it. Hay.
Is that the World Trade Center 3 behind him on the underneath your head? Is that the World Trade Center number 3?
No, I don't think so.
No.
We're gonna have to look at it. Let's see. It looks if BJ Colissimo over there could find out what city McLeod was in for us. Do a little research for us.
Yeah, please. My girl and teen daughters like them too. We're in. They're in East Tennessee, BJ Economos. They're very good. They're big fans of Larry. Here you go.
Awesome.
Emergency and Adam 12. Yeah, the Adam 12.
All right. I don't have emergency on here, but I do have Adam 12. We may or may not get to it.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can. Adam 12 was right here. Season
Adam
6.
12.
I did watch.
I used to watch this all the time.
And I liked it. It was great.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you go previously back to the 60s, what was the one with Joe Friday? And
that was Dragnet.
Dragnet was great. It was great.
Yeah, it was better when it was remade with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd, though.
I really liked the character because Joe Friday was like, the two strong characters and the other, he would walk in the office. Who was the other guy that was with Joe Friday?
Well, Harry Morgan. Wasn't Colonel Potter one of those guys? Colonel Potter from MASH, I think was one of the guys.
I think you're correct.
I think he might have been Joe Friday. He was the straight-laced guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But Adam 12 was great because they were like 70s cops. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there was a big 12 on their car. You always saw it. Like they had the number of their car. And then all I remember from that show is one Adam 12, one Adam 12. And that's how they knew to go to the call.
Joe Friday's partner, though, was the way he walked like a robot. He would like come in and go. They would talk very like robots. If I was him talking to you, I would say, "Hello, Walt. I just found out there's a little problem on Route 112. I have to go down and find out." You say, "Okay, sir."
That was Joe Friday, wasn't that? That was Joe Friday.
Well, what about the other character? He had the
other character
behavior to them.
He didn't bring up Dragnet for a reason.
All right. Well,
I do remember Joe Friday though, because Dan Aykroyd played him in Harry Morgan. See, it was Harry Morgan.
Thank you, Sue Walsh.
That was in the Dragnet TV series.
Yes, and it said on the roof was the number. Yep.
Yeah. Well, that was the 12.
Look at this. Besides Chips, I have Emergency seasons 1 through 6. These are big fans. How you like that?
I don't really know if I'd be bragging about that, Tiffany.
I don't have a savings account though.
Larry and I were born into a family-owned and operated motorcycle shop. Why do we care?
Why not? It's so fun. And Columbo was in California. And no, Dragnet the movie was horrible. Yes, it was Harry Morgan as Bill Gannon. That's right. Thank you, BJ. Is Bill Gannon. That's right.
Bill Gannon and Joe Friday.
Oh, there's our booker of talent, Mr. John Galasso McLeod from Dallas, New Mexico.
Taos, New Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, it was in New York. See?
You're right. See? All right.
It was in New York. So he was going around New York City with a horse.
Larry Wilcox just texted me. He liked sheep. I don't know what that means.
See, we're not kidding when we said this guy, Larry Wilcox, is a pistol.
He is a pistol. He's got a good sense of humor. I appreciate that so much, especially people. He's a real down there. All right, this next one up. Here you go. The beautiful.
Oh, I loved it. Loved it. You remember what that was?
Angie Dickinson, who insured her legs for over $1 million. By the way, she is beautiful. Really beautiful.
Oh, my God. Well, Policewoman.
Policewoman.
The TV show was called Policewoman. Her and Earl Holliman. But I used to watch it just because of her, man. She was a hot piece of booty back then.
Policewoman. Hot piece. And remember there was that big thing about her insuring her legs for $1 million. It was I remember seeing it on TV Guide.
Was that her or was that the girl from Entertainment Tonight?
Oh, I thought, whoa, that's interesting. No, I think it was her first and then Entertainment Tonight later did
Lisa, whatever her name
Lisa Hartman?
Lisa Hartman. Yeah.
Yeah, Angie Dickinson's a beautiful one. Is she still around, do you think?
I don't know. Somebody should really look that up. Is Pepper Anderson still with us?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was her name, Pepper Anderson.
Pepper Anderson, Streets of San Francisco with Michael Douglas and Carl Malden. I never understood how Carl Malden was popular and that show was even popular. I don't remember. I remember always thinking it was so mishmashed of a gig, you know?
If I remember that right, it used to be In the Streets of San Francisco. Tonight's episode is The Murder in the Tent City.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it went. Charge TV airs Chips from 4 to 6 in Kentucky. Better to watch than the news. See that? It's still playing. Oh, man.
Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ruth.
Charge
if
TV.
I ever get to Kentucky and I want to waste some time watching Chips, now I know when it's on.
I go to Kentucky every year at the Ventriloquist Convention, and very often I eat right on the border of Cincinnati, Ohio, at the
boathouse. The boathouse.
Here's somebody else from Kentucky, Emily Knight in Kentucky.
Come on.
Emily Knight looks like she's actually on The Bachelor or 90 Day Fiancé from that photo right now.
we have a bigger picture of Emily Knight.
Cut it out. You're a married man. Here we go. Mary Hart is a huge Trumper. Well, then I'm not even going. We don't do politics.
We don't talk politics.
I could just listen to the comments all night. Charge also airs Chips on Sunday nights too. See, that's being twice a week. And Butch Seltzer says, "But great legs." Let
me tell you something. And I was telling Larry this before. When I the promo in the beginning, I put that on a whole bunch of nostalgia pages to let people know that we're doing this on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Do you know how many people have come after me because of the whole thing that's going on with the cops right now? They were calling me names because I was doing a cop show.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Well,
people were attacking me.
I don't get political.
They wanted to defund this show.
Let me tell you, I don't get political, but when it comes to the Men in Blue, there's good and bad of everything. But for the most part, I'm happy that they're there. I love the policemen.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
let's bring up another set of cops for us then.
Yeah, I'm not looking to get political, but come on. I don't believe
people were attacking me.
I can't tell you how many times I've been helped by police, many times, and how many tickets I've been saved on the road speeding.
This is why I love these police shows. Mannix, come on.
Mannix was great. I watched it. Apparently, you were on there. Look, you and I were both on there back in the day.
Yeah, we were both on that. A lot of people don't know that, but we were on that show.
They don't remember. They don't remember.
I was the one. I used to have an affair with Peggy.
Yeah, there you go. Larry Rosen
Mannix was Mike Connors, right? It was Mike Connors was Mannix, and it was just like he would solve every crime. He was great.
So Larry Rosen saying Larry was on 5-0 as a terrorist. I didn't know that either. You see, these people know more than we know, a lot more than we know.
We're going to find out from Larry at the 8:30 hour. Dusky and Hutch I have, and the original SWAT I have.
Wow. Maybe Larry Wilcox can get Chips back on MeTV. We have been able to watch it for a couple of years now. In Tennessee. A lot of people are watching MeTV. I've been hearing a lot of that. I haven't seen it, but it's popular. It's extremely popular.
Dude, BJ, go down to Broadway and have a drink, bro. Forget about the Chips thing.
Mike Connors. That's right.
Mike Connors was Mannix. That was Mannix.
Oh, remember Larry Wilcox was on the Partridge Family.
Listen, we're going to get to Larry Wilcox later, all right?
We got to bring him fans sooner the better because everyone wants
all
to
these
talk
crazy. Imagine if we would have got Eric Estrada. How many people would be on here watching?
Well, actually, I'd rather talk to Larry.
Yeah,
I like
Larry. You got 11. You have 11 minutes to get Eric Estrada to join us.
He's busy brushing his teeth. So look at this. Remember this Mrs. Peel. This is one of my favorite shows. I would watch. This was hard to get on for some reason when I was a kid. It came on weird hours or something.
Yeah,
she was hot as hell. And why she was hooking up with that English guy, I have no idea. But didn't they have the hat that was metal? You could throw the hat and hurt somebody with it.
That was in a James Bond movie. Nut job. That was Odd Job.
I'm telling you
that in it. Did he?
I'm telling you, this guy had tricks with the cane. He had his hat. He had it was almost like he was like a Superman. He had this, special little tricks that he could pull out. I don't know if the cane was a knife or I think the hat was a piece of steel or something. I
remember watching the show for Mrs. Peel.
Yeah, she was hot.
She was hot. She's still looking. I wonder if she's still with us. Because my guess is she didn't age well.
I don't know, man, but I do. She's almost like the Catwoman kind of thing. She got that great look. What was
Catwoman? Catwoman. Julie Newmar. I saw a picture. She didn't age that well either.
Yeah, she didn't. What was the name of that woman?
Who? Her real name?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell Johnny to check that out for us.
She was on Game of Thrones.
She was on Game of Thrones. Larry Rosen. He's a friend of mine.
See, I know a guy named Larry Rosen too, so maybe it's the same one.
You think? No, it's not.
I don't know.
Larry Rosen? There's probably 4 million Larry Rosens in the world.
You're probably right. Miami Vice.
You should have saved this for him.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's going to talk about Miami Vice. But this show not only was a great show, but it had a great soundtrack. I think I bought this soundtrack, and I used to listen to it. Jan Hammer did the original theme.
Yeah, you're right. And this whole show created a whole new genre of how you look and dress and walk. Everybody was wearing jackets with rolled up sleeves of the comics in the 80s and 90s.
And a T-shirt.
Yeah, it was really popular.
Bobby Collins. That's Bobby Collins' look.
Yeah, that's Bobby Collins with smaller teeth.
But you remember their names in the show?
No, I don't. No. Go ahead, hit me.
I know it was Tubbs and Crockett and Tubbs.
Okay.
I think it was Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs. I think that was their names, but it was definitely Crockett and Tubbs.
Larry, you auditioned for Miami. How does Ruth know all this stuff? Is that like
Ruth?
Is Ruth like
Larry's you're a stalker?
Ex-wife?
He's a stalker.
Quincy, that was another great one too. That's right.
I had Quincy. I saw Quincy. It was a medical examiner, Jack Klugman.
I just sent you a picture of the Chips team with me. Oh, you have to send it to my email account to grab it now.
Yeah, we'll get to that after the show's over.
Galloway, Ireland. Big fan.
Get out of here.
Eric. That's what I'm thinking. Are we being punked? Like suddenly you have people from all over the world. Next thing you know, you're going to hear Mustafa coming in from Rodan. I know my friends.
Coming in from Baghdad is Mustafa Hussan.
Yeah, I love Larry Wilcox. I want to speak.
We listen to Chips all the time.
Well, it could be from all the way in Ireland. Hi, good to see you. And who's my buddy? That's my best friend. No Filter Ron.
No Filter Ron?
You know No Filter.
No Filter Ron.
I put him on the air right now, but we don't want to get in trouble.
No.
So after my advice, there you go. Season 2.
One of my favorites.
Was
Vegas.
it really? Yeah.
Dan Tanner.
Yeah.
This was great because he used to drive around in his convertible, like one of those old 57 Chevy convertibles, and solve crimes. But this was after The Rookies. He was in the movie The Rookies. He was also in Soap. He was
Danny.
Who killed
Danny?
What was his name? Peter Campbell.
Oh, Peter Campbell. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He was Peter Campbell in Soap, and he was in The Rookies. No, I'm sorry, SWAT. He was in SWAT.
Correct.
I think his name was Street.
Go ahead. Tell us more.
Kid. His name was Street. But when he was in Vegas, that's what made me want to go to Vegas. But this was all done before they put in the Fremont Street Experience, because he used to drive through the streets of old downtown Vegas.
I love the Fremont Experience. It's really cool. They got a zip line going down now.
I did not know that. I haven't been there in years.
Well, in between buying crack, you can go down a zip line. It's pretty cool.
They should sell it from the ceiling.
I only got a couple of. All right. Okay. Well, this was like, this guy was like the. Hey, I see you one eye. Well, look, we're Illuminati people right now on screen. We're the Illuminati. Now he was like the heartthrob for women.
Magnum PI.
Yeah. He turned out to be like. Didn't he do the commercial for Marlboro Man?
Reverse Mortgages.
Oh, is that what it was? Right.
Hey, I saw him the other day doing reverse mortgages. He was talking about him. He was really slow. He's like, you want a reverse mortgage? I'm like, what happened to him? But he was in Blue Bloods. Big Blue Bloods guy.
Larry was on MASH, according to Stephen Cassase.
You know what? I don't think we need to bring Larry on now.
And then somebody's saying he's blue blood. So he's done more things. It's amazing. So we're not going to be able to ask any questions. We have over 50 people right now watching, and everybody loves Kathy Hubbard. Everybody loves Selleck. Yeah, he was great. Let me buzz through a couple more of these so we can bring Larry on. We also have let's see. Okay, this is another one. So this. Was one of my favorites as a kid. I remember growing up with this guy.
Beretta.
Now
that was Tony Beretta. It was Tony Beretta, right? Tony Beretta, played by Robert Blake.
And
that was Fred Bird.
That's correct. And who was the pimp with the
Huggy Bear?
Huggy Bear.
Huggy Bear.
I knew that.
Who was that? That was Huggy Bear. I know the guy's name. You know his name?
No, I do not. Off the my head, no.
I was thinking Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, but that's Freddie Boom Boom Washington. His name is. It'll come to me. Watch. We'll be talking to Larry, and I'll be like, "This is his name."
It's gonna hit you. Well, I'm sure, guys. Somebody in chat will have it for us. I'm sure.
Anton something.
Is it really? You think so?
Yeah. Huggy Bear is.
Come on, first person in chat to give it. We'll send you a free Andy doll. First person in chat to give me Huggy Bear's name from the Beretta.
Antonio Vargas.
Forget
it. I already got it.
An Andy doll.
Antonio Vargas.
Okay. All right. Let me buzz through a couple more of these here because we're going through them really quick.
Wait. We can't tell that he got off from murder charges. He killed his wife.
No, he's supposed to come on the show next week. I don't want to talk about that now.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
sorry, Robert. He was also in the Little Rascals, by the way.
That's right. That's the big thing. Yeah.
Was Dick. He was Dickie.
You could kill your wife, but being in the Little Rascals wipes all of that out. It's all good, right?
He was Dickie, right? And then he turned into a Dickie.
Yeah. There you go.
That was Barnaby Jones.
Wasn't a big fan of that show. You watched that?
Me either. But I like Lee Merriweather right there. Yeah, Lee Merriweather was the Catwoman in the Batman movie.
That's right. You can't go wrong with that.
And Buddy Epson was supposed to. Oh, I love this show.
Did you really?
Loved it. Get Christy Love.
I wasn't into that.
Yeah, get Christy Love, man. She was a. Woo.
I think if I watched it once, it was a lot. I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, she was a badass, man.
Yeah,
Christy
boy,
Love.
You were really doing nothing when you were a kid. You were really.
I did nothing.
You were actually in the middle of COVID in 1970.
I started it. I started it back in 1970. The COVID, the quarantining.
You were quarantining all by yourself in the 70s.
I've been self-quarantined since 1973.
All right. How about look at this.
My favorite.
Starsky and Hutch is almost for a minute there. I thought it was Paul Provenza.
No, that's David Soul and Paul Michael Glazer.
Oh,
I remember the episode.
How you pull it out? You just pull them out of the hat. It's amazing.
Yeah,
this with baseball and football people, and you're like, right?
Was Huggy Bear? They had a pimp too. They had somebody they went to. Are we getting them mixed up? Huggy Bear? I think Huggy Bear was in Starsky and Hutch.
You know, I don't know.
Yes, Huggy Bear was in Starsky and Hutch.
That's right. I think you're right.
I think the other one, the pimp that he had in the other one, that was O.J. Simpson. That's how they talked about murder.
Right. All right. Let me buzz through a couple more here real quick. So I do really didn't remember really watching that show very much, but this one, there you go. We know what that one is.
I can't believe that you don't remember this after we were in it.
Yeah, we were in that show. I kind of remember. I do remember standing next to Larry. Where was I? In front of Larry that night. Yeah, I do remember that.
Who's that guy in the white suit? Is that Jeffrey Ross?
It looks like him. I don't know. How did that get caught into the mix when the guys in the show? You shouldn't have that one even on there. That was why that.
Loved this show. Loved it.
I watched it a little bit here and there.
Hondo Harrelson, Street, DeLuca, and TJ. I forgot the African American guy's name. And you know, I'm probably gonna.
It says Rod Perry there.
Rod Perry.
Is that right?
Well, TJ was the sharpshooter. I know that. But this show was great, and every episode, Leslie Nielsen was the bad guy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that guys like Gates Foundation spent any of the 70s watching all this crap?
No. He was building a computer in his garage.
That's why he's a billionaire, and me and you are sitting here in a basement.
Yeah, but he's going to be going to jail, and I'm still going to be free.
Okay, if you say so. No, we don't do about moonlighting. This was
favorite show. One of my favorites.
It was really big too. She was hot as hell as well, and he became like a huge star after that. He and then he went from there to all those other franchises with all those.
To Die Hard.
Die Hard.
He actually filmed Die Hard when he was making this. But anybody want to take a guess what Bruce Willis's real first name is?
Oh, why? You know Bruce Willis's real first name?
I do.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. His real first name was Walter.
Was it Walter? Rooster was the pimp in Beretta. Rooster.
See, it was Rooster. I knew it. Huggy Bear was in
Thank you, Angela. We've never seen you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Angela.
Yep, there you go. Steve Hart's the first guy driving the RV in the first SWAT movie. If you see him really good at the end, huh?
Yeah, Steve Forrester. Actually, Hondo was in a couple episodes of Twilight Zone, also.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Best Cop Show, Car 54. Where are you? That's another old one too. That's
not a comedy though. It was a sitcom.
Yeah, with
Fred Gwynn and that Grandpa Al Lewis.
Grandpa Al Lewis. That's right. Hey, this one. All right, so that moonlighting was great. Here's a TV guide. Oh yeah. Natalie
I used to.
Yeah.
The beginning of the show, like the beginning of the show, it was always by the guy up top with the cigar. I forgot what his name was, and he used to go, "When they met, it was murder."
You're right. And is it me or Robert Wagner looks like he was airbrushed his head into a helmet?
I got to be honest. He looks like one of your dummies.
Yeah, because if you look at my airbrush pictures, look at my forehead. See my forehead? I have no lines on my forehead. I don't know who did that. I have no lines on my forehead. And then I looked down at his picture, and I'm like, you got the same airbrush artist, apparently.
Well, Robert Wagner in that show was actually He's the guy who was on the boat married to Natalie Wood when she drowned.
Well, allegedly.
She drowned. She drowned.
This
show, I love this show.
How she drowned. Yeah, this show I watched religiously, and then later on after, where they come out with a $6 million woman too, didn't they? The Bionic Woman. No. What was it called?
Bionic Woman. The Bionic Woman. Yeah. What was her name? What was her name?
Oh, God. It's eluding me. What was it?
Jamie Summers.
Yes.
and they were both reporting to Oscar Goldman, and the guy who made all of the things that they used was Rudy. He worked back at the place. Rudy, the old little guy.
Or you remembered all of this?
No, I remember all of this.
Damn, this show I really love.
Lindsay Wagner. Lindsay Wagner was the Bionic Woman.
Cute girl. And I remember in the beginning of the show, there was like something like, we can make them stronger. We can make them better. We can build them stronger. And they show you like them working on them like it was, he had the metal in him and, almost like RoboCop kind of a thing.
$6 million today, you can't even buy a right pinky.
I would like to watch that show again. It would be interesting to watch.
That's great. Who's you call? Ted Cassidy was in there when he fought Bigfoot. Remember that one?
Yes, I do. I watched that a lot. That was a great show. Hey, this is another classic. Everyone loved that show.
How do you not like that show?
Hasselhoff. David.
Michael Knight. Yeah, Michael Knight was Knight Rider. And I think the guy who was John Hilderman that was in the Magnum PI, the guy in the back, I think he was the voice of that car. John Hinderman or something.
I think you're absolutely right. Heart to Heart was special, close to my heart. Lionel Stander name.
Lionel Stander was the guy. And when they met, it was murder.
Yeah,
Jamie Summers. There you go. Jenny had Jamie Summers right.
Don't forget the show that James Garner was in. What was that?
The Rockford Files. Come on.
Oh, right. The Rockford Files. Oh, God.
Kit was the name of the car. Kit was the name of the car Michael Knight had.
Right. William Daniels.
Who's that?
We all have DVDs.
Jack brother?
Butch Seltzer.
William Daniels was a kid.
The name. All
right.
I sat in the Kit car. That's kind of cool.
Tiffany, I thought my life was sad.
I was in the Batmobile. Huh?
Well, I wasn't. I want to sit in the Batmobile. I want to do a show on Batman alone.
Let's see. I just saw
we gotta bring Larry in.
Rabbi Walter. So let me just blitz with one more. I want to get Larry in here because I know he's been waiting. As a matter of fact, let's see. Oh, okay. Great show. Great. See, I was wondering. I didn't watch a lot of shows, and I thought this wouldn't go as well with you and me because I was thinking, well, I don't know a lot of the cop shows, but everyone loved this show. 1970.
Are you kidding me, man?
Do you know? I remember babysitting a kid while watching this, like in the 70s. But some lady was going out to disco dance. Like she learned how to do the hustle. A guy used to come to the house and teach her how to do the hustle. As this guy Johnny with the Guido guy, and he would come over and show the girl how to hustle, and her and her husband go out and they would do the hustle. And I remember watching this while babysitting this little girl that was sleeping. She's sleeping. I remember watching this. And
let me tell you about this show. The funny thing about it is Farrah Fawcett is the blonde down the bottom. Jacqueline Smith is the brunette up top, and Kate Jackson is the one that is to the left there. And I always loved Kate Jackson because I never thought I could get Farrah Fawcett. Like while everybody else was drooling over the other two, I felt like I was the only one drooling over Kate Jackson. So I had her all drooling to myself.
So you're Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island. That's what you're saying. You go for the underdog.
I go for the underdog. She was. That's why I actually had your face up there first, and then I changed it and put mine because I wanted to be next to Kate Jackson.
I understand. I'm very happy. I'm very happy hanging out next
to trivia. Before we bring in Larry.
Thank you.
Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett?
Before we can I get that gift where you say before I bring in what you call it over and over again?
Can we bring in whatchamacallit? Who's-you-call-it? The Farrah Fawcett. Believe it or not, that it sucks. She had a great career, and she was one of the biggest sex symbols on TV ever.
Yeah.
And she had the unfortunate luck that she literally died, which would have been big news. Farrah Fawcett died, except she died on the same day Michael Jackson died.
That's true. That is very, very true.
So you couldn't even mourn Farrah Fawcett that day because everybody was talking about Michael Jackson.
It's funny because I was trying to remember my Farrah Fawcett joke. I don't know if I remember it.
I got to tell you, Farrah Fawcett was so popular. You remember the show Battle of the Network Stars?
Yes.
Where they used to have Channel 2, people that from Channel 4 and Channel 7 would all compete in events. And Dick Van Patten was like this huge tennis player. And it was known. And Farrah Fawcett was going to take on Dick Van Patten in this tennis match. And they literally followed it like the beginning of like a Mike Tyson fight. Like they were following her, getting out of the car and everything. That was the funniest thing that I've seen with Farrah.
I think I remember. I think I do remember that. And I did watch that show because you used to watch them walking around in shorts and bouncing around and all. It was. And last but not least, the Rookies.
The Rookies. There you go. So your face is over Kate Jackson's face.
Oh, on her? Yes. No.
So Kate Jackson was that nurse outfit that we had, that you have.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that was a great show too.
You're right. There you go.
Yeah, that was Kate Jackson, and that the African American guy was George Stanford Brown. He was also in. I think he was in Roots. Like
wow, you're pulling them all out. You're pulling them all out tonight. That's beautiful.
And Michael Onkeen, who's the middle guy. Michael Onkeen was also in the movie Slapshot.
Imagine if you used your intellect for good. Yeah, Larry just said, did Battle of the Network Stars. Was my girlfriend in the first movie. I did Farrah's first movie, and she was my girlfriend in the first movie. We got to talk to Larry about that.
All right,
now.
Bring Larry.
What are we waiting for? I mean, whatchamacallit? Let's bring whatchamacallit in.
Let's bring whatchamacallit in. Larry Wilcox. He's famously known from the TV show Chips, which is California Highway Patrol. Larry, he's been in a bunch of movies. He's been in a bunch of TV shows, Miami Vice. Let's bring him in. Larry.
By the way, Larry has got some hell of a career. I was just looking at stuff. He's from California, but apparently he was originally from the Midwest, and he was a cowboy when he came to California.
Wyoming.
He's an American actor, best known as his role in California Highway Patrol Officer, later Captain John Baker in the television series Chips from 1977 to 1983. He's a Vietnam vet as well. He races cars,
right?
He holds Bonneville Salt Flats land speed record and is a private pilot. That's some hell of a whatchamacallit.
but did he watch The Rookies? That's what I want to know.
Should we play this little video before we bring him in, or just bring him in?
Play his video. Play some of his video.
This is something that people, I don't know if people know this or not about Larry, but Larry had was asked to sing, and he made a song called "Me and My Chips," which is a music video, and he has a good sense of humor about this. I'm not embarrassing him. We have his approval. It's not like we're doing anything nefarious here. But
and you can get this on a ringtone if you'd like.
Yes, you can.
I came home late last night, just as tired as a man can be. Needing you set me right, and I know you were needing me.
Remember this shirt's open.
And there's one thing that can get me through, just knowing I come home each night to you. There's nothing else could ever do.
How do you like that? I have the 45.
Jenny, you're pathetic.
Look at this. All the love for Mr. Larry.
Nothing for us, right? Nobody's saying it.
Why is Cher saying hi, Max Gale? He's not here.
Evidently, she's 3 weeks behind.
And all of the light in your eyes make the dreams in my world come true. And I'll never really want more.
All right.
This is silly that
people have this.
Actually,
45.
but people are digging this.
Another one from hang on.
People are digging this, though. They're really. I get people going, I want the ringtone. Everybody wants it.
My ringtone, Jenny. You had better be his daughter. It's crazy. Look at Eric Estrada. Eric Estrada probably said he probably wants to sing buried as far away as possible.
I knew it was right, 'cause there's nowhere else I'd rather be. And it feels so very good to know that the world outside can come and go.
It's great. It's great. I want the ringtone.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
This is almost as bad as when Eddie Murphy says my girl wants to party all the time.
I love and die.
A lot of people
Two
have
Walsh has the 45. Great video. I bet you didn't know who we were getting tonight, John.
There's 100 people watching this right now. I got to
tell 100 people?
Yes, and I got to tell you something too. As I bring Larry in here, we just played that. I just want to make this. We do not own the claim copy shit. There you go.
That way it stays in and it doesn't get cut out.
All right. So anyway, hey, enough. What you call it? Let's bring. I'm so sorry, Larry. I have to apologize for Walt. He knows everything about the '70s television shows, but he forgot your name for a minute.
I'm John whatchamacallit.
You could call him anything you want right now if you like.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for coming on so much, by the way. And I have to say, it's amazing how much kudos you're getting in the chat. People are going crazy. I'm not discounting you, but I didn't expect how many people you really have.
Oh my God.
Loves you. They go crazy. That's crazy. Wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah, that was a big song. I was that was along with the Intruders and Cowboys and Girls and My Girl and Temptations and then Me and My Love. What the hell happened? Where'd it go?
Larry, I want to be the first to thank you for joining us from your supply closet.
No problem. No problem. I'm coming out of the closet today. It's the garage, by the way, my man cave. I got my tools in here, my skill saw, my hammer.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, sure you do. Okay.
Are you a handy guy, Larry? Are you one of those handy kind of people? Do you do that?
Yeah, I'm a handy guy. I like doing handy stuff, but I'm a little challenged, but I really enjoy doing it.
That's great. It's so cool. So listen, all these people, can we go back in this chat way back in the beginning? Somebody had mentioned something about, there was so many questions coming in here earlier that I'm not even sure where to start. But there was, the people was asking, like, first of all, you had told us off the air a little while ago that you were in with the dog. What was the name of that wall?
Lassie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in Lassie?
Yeah, but tell us about Lassie, please.
Well, I co-starred in Lassie in 1970, and there were 4 Lassies, all laddies, because of their colors were bigger and more photographic, and did that for 3 years. And then I went from that to doing all the Union 76 commercials for 5 years for the Dodgers and Union 76 gas. And then Disney movies and movies of the week and, pilots for television series, one with Don Meredith, which was a blast when, after he was off the Dallas Cowboys and was a football announcer, great guy. And then did movies like with Don Murray called Police Story. Don Murray was a really good actor. I liked him. Vic Morrow, I did a movie with him and really good actor also. And, just Angela Lansbury, Ron Masak, all those old people, the 70s and 80s, and had a good time. And So Chips or Lassie was kind of a springboard, if you will, kind of got me going. So it was a nice beginning. They utilized the young kid from Wyoming, and I did, I did all my own stunts. Didn't know any better. Jumped off railroad trains and did cartwheels and jumped into rapids in the river, and on and on and on. But fell through floors and off roofs, and didn't know that a stuntman was supposed to be doing that. I was the stuntman.
Who did you play on that? Who did you play? It wasn't Timmy, right?
Dale Evans. No, Timmy was before me. I played Dale, a young kid that lived an orphan on a ranch and rescued all the animals with Lassie and so on. So it was a good experience. Really lucky to get my feet wet at that time.
Big fan of New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand's great there. Yeah, I love New Zealand. New Zealand.
New Zealand.
When I was in New Zealand, it was like a wonderland. It was so beautiful. It was like its own. It made Hawaii look dirty. I mean, it was magnificent, but a long ways away.
The only one I know from New Zealand was there was a wrestler named Tony Garea, and he was from Auckland, New Zealand. That's the only person I ever heard from New Zealand.
I'd love to visit. Never saw it. I watched television shows about it. I'd love to visit. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, we had a good time. I produced a television series there called the Ray Bradbury Theater. We did it in Canada, New Zealand, France, and England.
There's people from Canada right now saying hello to you too as well. All over Canada, New Zealand, international appeal. It's amazing what television will do to you. That just because it keeps playing. One thing about television, even like the show we're on right now, which is not like Chips clearly, but it lives in the air forever.
Yeah,
it doesn't go away.
Yeah. Well, you look at it, it's kind of funny, because you say, well, how long was that show on, Larry? It's on forever, right? 5 years, 6 years, maybe, And then, well, why is it then after Turner bought all of the library from MGM, then it ran for another 25 years on TNT, and then MeTV started rerunning it for another 5 or 10 years. And so, you have this show that's never left TV. So, I'm grateful for all that marketing.
You still get checks?
I still get checks
from that?
Yeah, I got one right here, $36.10.
Hey,
he had that unemployment. We're in good shape.
That's right.
Now look at this. Here you go. Hubbard from Pensacola, Florida.
Pensacola, Navy Town. Yeah.
Drove a truck, a pickup truck in Lassie also.
Yeah. Nancy knows all that stuff. She's been a great fan.
You're a beautiful person, Larry. That's not coming from me.
Thank you,
There's
Tiffany.
somebody from Kentucky, Massachusetts.
Hi,
Gail.
how many people are watching this?
Oh, big fan in Ocean, that's Ocean Bounty, New Jersey.
That's right there. That's your wife.
That's not my wife. Stephen Keller's not my wife. Not yet.
Yeah.
Hi to Detroit. Larry.
That's Jenny. I know Jenny and her dog. They came to the Comic-Cons. She's a great girl.
Do you do a lot of those Comic-Con things all over?
I did. I haven't done them in a while. I think I did every city, and you can't keep going back. You become a homeless guy hanging around to sign an autograph.
Yeah.
But I did all of the major cities.
Let me ask you.
What do they charge like $20 for that, right? They charge like $20 or something like that, or
well, they vary. They probably on the low end 20 to the high end maybe 500. For some people.
Really?
Who's getting 500? Captain Kirk? I mean, who's that?
Yeah, Captain Kirk. He probably gets 150 to 500 somewhere in there
And
per
just for a
autograph, and he just boom, boom, boom. He, you don't say, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you."
That's terrible.
He runs.
Well,
all right.
But now,
Larry, I was going to say, if you have to lie about this, how much does Eric Estrada get? You can lie.
$40.
$40.
He does?
Yeah.
And he doesn't autograph. He bites it.
Yeah. He bites it. No, he signs it and gives him a kiss. No.
Larry, here's a picture of you that we have. Can you want to tell us what's going on here? Look at this.
Oh, yeah, that was in my youth. What the hell happened? That's when I was a cowboy. That's in one of my horse trailers. I was a roper. I team rope, calf roped, and I had a good time rodeo. And then I rode cutting horses for a long time too.
And, it fits perfectly over Walt's face too. It's kind of
crazy.
Yeah, look at how nice it is to have a young co-host.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was back in the day. How about this?
This is me during the Chips days. I was flying with the Blue Angels, and so they asked in this particular day, they asked my wife and I to go flying, and Bruce Jenner went flying also. And so we went up and did all kinds of maneuvers, and they tried to make me sick, but I love it. So I told them to hurt me. We had a great time.
Wow.
So you went up in an airplane with Bruce Jenner?
I didn't. He went up in the Blue Angels after I came back down and landed. So,
imagine what would have happened if you two would have went switch times.
Yeah.
I think Larry was a rodeo rider. Is that true?
Yep. Yeah, I was a member of the PRCA, Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, and traveled around and rodeoed and stuff.
I have a photo in my bedroom wall when I was a kid. How would you like knowing that a young girl is looking at your photo as a kid in your bedroom?
Well, I loved it. And I met that young lady once, Sue Walsh, who's became an executive assistant to help me with everything from my website to you name it. She's been a great help. And a guy named Calvin Spiker has been a great help also.
Excellent.
Pringles.
You did a Pringles commercial in '77?
Yeah, that was one of the early things I did. I played the cowboy and for a Pringles commercial, and I forgot the actor I did it with. I liked the old actor. He was a good old Western actor too.
That's excellent. That's so
yes,
cool.
thank you for your service. Let's get that right out of the way.
That's the real truth. Yeah, we appreciate our veterans too. I didn't know he knows you. Sue's been on the show for a while. We see you popping up there. Here's from somebody from Florida.
Hollandale Beach.
Hollandale Beach.
COVID Center.
Yeah. Now we have to quarantine for 14 days because she checked in.
Yeah, exactly. Hawaii 5-0 was great. That was for the first time I think I'd been to Hawaii actually. And so they flew me over and it was a great time. Really enjoyed myself. Indulgent young actor getting the guest star on a big show, so I was very grateful. Beautiful in Hawaii.
Garrett.
Are you and Chip's cast still tight? That's a really good question.
Yeah, that's a good question, but you get that all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with some, you see some and you don't see others, First of all, I kind of segued into technology, so I'm not really around Hollywood, if you will, very often anymore. So that's number one. Number two is I see Robert Pine quite often, who played Sergeant Gautreaux, whose son is Chris Pine, and big actor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Robert Pine's a gentleman, a great guy, and just a wonderful person to be around. So I see him quite a bit. Of course, I see Eric when we do the Comic-Cons, and, Eric's entertaining and funny and full of energy and bouncing off the walls. So you just have to stand in the background and watch him. But I don't see the other guys. I see Michael Dorn once in a while, the guy, the African-American guy that went on to be a big star, a bigger star than we were actually. And he did the Star Trek stuff, and he flew airplanes. He had an F-86 fighter jet and all kinds of other stuff. He's really a great guy. And Lou Saunders, who was a great athlete and football player and so on, he came and did Chips. I see him once in a while. Paul Link, I go to see his plays once in a while. He does one-man plays and so on. So I see him. Randy Oakes, she was a really pretty girl. Used to be Joe Namath's girlfriend. And I saw her when we did a Comic-Con together, but that's the only time I've seen her. And she was a great girl. Trying to think who else.
She's avoiding you.
Yeah,
I heard she's avoiding you on purpose.
Okay. All right. She might be.
Don't forget, Larry turned 73. Do you really turn 73 in 17 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
August 8th.
Damn, you look really good for 70. What is that? Is it that California lifestyle? And by the way, other people are saying happy birthday early to you and all that. Everybody's like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I have a crass answer, but I don't know if I should give it to you.
You can hit us up. We have people from Costa Rica. It doesn't matter.
It's vitamin E. You got to take a lot of vitamin E. You got to chew bubble gum, and you got to masturbate.
Okay. Wait a minute. I got the third part. What about the rest?
I got the last two. What's vitamin E?
I'm sorry. It's a joke.
It's a good joke.
That's all right.
I did notice one of your shoulders seemed to be a little stronger than the other.
That's right.
You can see.
Now here's look at this, by the way. Love your sense of humor, Walt Papa Polio.
Thank you. Finally.
Right. I'll give you to that.
Finally, somebody appreciates me. Where is she? She's probably from all the way out there in the United Arab Emirates.
No, her name is Latifa Ajibad. I hope I'm not
That's
doing
what I'm saying.
disjustice to her name.
Yeah, I know her. She used to go bowling with me over in Staten Island. She's a good bowler, by the way.
For real?
Is she a good bowler? I'm a good bowler. I'm a 210 average.
I bet you are.
The only 3 holes you stick your fingers in is up on top.
Yeah. Always looking for an orifice.
We shouldn't go this direction.
Larry, little
shouldn't go this direction. Look at that. People are saying looks great at 73 and all that. That's awesome. That's total. So somebody asked here, and of course, which you've probably gotten many times before, which stream trips are no longer on Amazon Prime? I didn't know that. Somebody said, what's your favorite episode out of all of those episodes?
The ones I directed.
There you go.
Tow Truck Lady, and I forgot the other one, but it was fun to direct them and act in them at the same time, indulgent and fun.
That's good. That's cool. Now, Larry, while you were younger and you were doing these shows, were you watching any other cop shows? Like, what were your favorite cop shows?
Let's see. My favorites were Streets of San Francisco, because
Carl Malden, Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I did. I did a guest star on that, and those, Carl Malden was such a good actor, and Michael Douglas was a handsome young guy, so it was really fun to work on that show. And didn't get to do a guest on Charlie's Angels. I don't know what the hell happened there, but anyway,
that was a good one.
Yeah, I did. I always liked Beretta. It was a good show. I liked Hill Street Blues. It was a really good show, really good actors. And NYPD Blue I liked.
Love that.
That's probably Police Story was an original series that they had different guests on every episode.
That's correct.
So it was a great story. I was trying to think, the guy, Don Murray was the guy that I co-starred with on that particular episode, and he was a really good actor also. Vic Morrow, I co-starred in a movie with him, and those kind of actors are in those days in my age, I would write Bibles on the character, and I knew when he burped and when he farted and what his aunt did and what his grandmother did, even though that's not in the script. You write this Bible, and so to work with those kind of actors was just so much fun. It was great. And MASH, those actors on MASH were terrific. Yeah. I mean, we would really break down everything about the actor and the character,
That Bible's probably worth a lot of money on eBay right now.
Yeah.
Hey, who are you, Walter, John? I don't know you guys. Walter's the funny guy.
Which is even, because I don't know David King either.
Yeah. So they said, why did you leave the show? Why did you leave before the show went off?
Well,
here we go.
Yeah, that's a weird story. So you have to take a few minutes to tell this one. So, I had done the show 5 years, and I had flown to Brazil to do a personal appearance in Rio de Janeiro. That was a tough one. And we had a whole floor of a hotel and champagne everywhere. It was really fun. And I get a call from my agent who said, Larry, they're not going to bring you back on Chips next year. What? What do you mean they're not going to bring me back? And anyway, to make a long story short, I didn't know at the time. And so I hurried up and did a public relations announcement that I was leaving the show, and beat everybody to the punch. And that really made people mad. But what really happened is Eric Estrada had sued MGM, and he told, and we had 5 years in the can, but you have to have 6 years in the can in order to go to syndication. And so if you don't have 6 years, you can't go to syndication, and then you have really no profit. And so they were in a catch-22 because Eric Estrada said, either you fire Larry Wilcox or I quit. So
wow.
I got fired, and I was a sacrificial item, and it went on one more year. Some people always ask me, God, how do you do a Comic-Con with Eric after that and so on? How do you handle that? And, I think it was just, you had two young guys, both with egos at that time. I had as big as one as he did. So, it's not all his fault. And I think that he and his managers and agents, who I've always said he had the wrong ones. But anyway, his managers and agents, I think, gave bad advice. and the show probably would have gone on a long time. But it was a business decision, so I don't wallow in the misery of it. I hug Eric today. I like Eric today. I respect him. Think he made a wrong decision, but onward and upward, because people that wallow in grudges and vengeance, they don't go anywhere. So no big deal. Onward and upward.
I can't believe that. I never knew that. The way you were talking about him. Do you tell that story a lot? Because listen, you have a $36.10 check there.
That's right. I got one here too, by the way, for 1 cent. Literally 1 cent.
That's because they're playing that in Dubai. They're playing it in Dubai on one of the stations.
That's right.
Look at this. Hi, Larry. How are you? Such a handsome
Now I got to go on these Eric Estrada pages and badmouth this guy.
No. You don't want to do that. He's a good guy. So he's just young and emotional and from Spanish Harlem, Puerto Rican, wanting to prove himself. And God bless him. He tried.
But why did he want you fired? Why did he want you fired?
I don't know. You have to ask him. I have no idea.
Listen, come on, Walt. It's like whenever two guys, like it's the big hen. You got to lay down the law. There's always, if you have a bunch of cats in your yard, there's always one that eats first. It's that macho, young, egotistical. And by the way, Larry seems like real at peace with it all. Like he realized, he said himself that he was younger. You had a strong ego too. And when we're cocky, when we're young, you get stupid. You're like, you're the king of the castle.
That's right.
I get it.
King of the mountain, Yeah.
Now, did Lassie ask to have you fired also, or no?
No, I was housebroken. I have no problem.
Was Lassie a male or female? That's another good question.
All males.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And see, you called her a bitch. See,
yes.
Yeah, and you can't do that now because you'd be sued.
Yeah, me too.
You had an all-male dog.
Here's a question, Larry. David King said, "Did you like Dragnet?"
Yeah, I kind of liked it because it was really oblique and funky. One guy was very straight and just said his line, rah, 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 and he looked like he was reading Robot and a terrible actor. But
I loved it.
But it kind of fit the character and it was interesting, And what was the other one I liked way back then? Honeymooners. That was way before that. But the Honeymooner, Jackie Gleason, he was so great.
We did a whole show on that, and we didn't
do a whole show on it. We were going to. We never did.
Upcoming, right?
Yeah.
And did you keep the bike from Chips?
No, Ryan, I didn't. I probably could have. We had, probably 7 or 8 bikes each, and
really,
we had, Eric kept one. I think he kept one without the motor, so he has it in his house. But no, I didn't really need a police bike to keep. But I did. I'll tell you a little story about police bikes for just a second. We went through training, and we rode police bike. I rode motorcycles all my life, so in a way, it got in my way. So I went through the CHP training, and so did Eric. And we had to wreck them and lay them down and high-speed brake with the rear end coming around. And it was tough stuff, But we got really, really balanced and good on them. So we could ride slow in a figure 8 and do turns and, look really cool in just a tiny area. You think, how that motorcycle going to get out of that square? No problem, dude. We're good, And so about a year ago, somebody said, "Would you ride in this parade? You have one of those Chips bikes?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." Do you ride motorcycle? Yeah. Have you ridden recently? No, but it's no problem. It's like a bicycle, But I don't have a motorcycle anymore. I sold all my motorcycles. Right? I don't need a motorcycle, so I had to go rent a CHP police bike. And my wife says, "Hey, you realize you're going to ride in this parade, right?" "Yeah." "And there'll probably be police escorts and all that." "Yeah." "You don't have a motorcycle license, and you never have had one. All through Chips, wow. You didn't have a motorcycle license, you idiot." So I need a license for a parade. So I says, "Man, I don't want to get this nonprofit in trouble, so I got to go get a motorcycle license right there." So I go to the DMV, and they, "What? You're getting a motorcycle license? You don't have a motorcycle license?" So I had to borrow a guy's little Vespa because he's the only guy I knew had a motor, right? Now I ride in that beep, beep, and my little Vespa, right? And I'm trying to do little turns, and it oversteers because that little tiny wheel in there. It was I don't know how I passed. I barely passed, right? But
that's hilarious.
That's a great story too. That's a great story. Look at this. Everybody's giving this guy kudos. Big Larry, God bless you. We watched since 9 years old. I still love the show. I have the episodes on DVD. Somebody said, tell them the helmet story. Kathy Hubbard wants us to know, what's the helmet story?
Oh, I think the one she's referring to is, I'm not sure. I mean, I always joke about, they said, where's your helmet? I still have my helmet. Where's it at? Well, my wife makes me wear it when I go to bed, But I'm not sure what helmet story she's talking about. So.
John's got a totally different helmet story.
Yeah. Yes.
How about this? Will they ever make a final Chips movie with all the Chips cast for a final time, with all the cast getting promotion?
Has that been talked about?
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, two things. They did the Chips reunion movie called Chips 99. That was like 10 years after we had been off of Chips, or a lengthy period of time. And they did a pretty good job on that. Director did a pretty good job. And then I bought the rights to Chips, and I thought I had it sold to USA Cable, and with CAA was helping me at that time, and I wasn't able to get it sold. So I let the rights revert back to the owners. And to make a long story short, couldn't get it sold. And then along came the Chips movie that they recently did with Dax Shepard and so on. And, it was a movie that I didn't care for, but remember, that's one guy's opinion. So they did a movie, and they raised all the money, and I think they lost money on the movie. But anyway, they did it, and it wasn't my favorite movie. And I also thought it was an insult to the brand. Now, to answer the question, is there ever going to be a Chips reunion? Well, I'll segue. I doubt it at this age, but would I do it? Yeah, maybe some cameos and spoofs of Punch and John, but they are what they are. However, having said that, they asked us to do a Battle of the Network Stars last year.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and so they call me. My wife's a former Olympic track and field athlete. I'm a wannabe, right? And so they said, well, would you mind doing it? I don't know. What do I have to do? Because it could be really embarrassing and humiliating.
Bocce. They wanted you to play bocce.
No, they wanted you're going to do a 100-meter or 200-meter sprint, and you're going to play basketball, and there's an obstacle course. I said, I'm a Marine. I can do the obstacle course. Well, before that, I severed my bicep by doing too many shoulder exercises.
Well, that's what you're saying that happened. It could have been those three things you brought up earlier.
Yeah, the bubble gum. Probably the bubble gum.
Maybe vitamin E, but
vitamin E or bubble gum, one of the two.
And so, to make a long story short, we go there and we are terrible. I mean, it looks like, who are these guys, So Eric Estrada starts the first heat of the 200 or 100-meter race, and I'm the second heat, right? So I see him running. I said to my wife, look at him. He looks like a little Chinaman. He can't, he's waddling. He can't even run. She said, shut up, you're next. So there my little tubby body took off and ran.
But you're in good shape at 73, though. You're physically in still good shape, right?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I keep really active. So I can, if somebody wanted me to ride a motorcycle, I can do that. If they want me to rope a cow, I can do that,
Let me ask you this, though, because you're in showbiz, if you will.
Yeah.
So being in showbiz back in the day, when at the height of all of this, when you're really at the height of career times, I mean, I think, is this the thing that projected you more so into the mainstream?
Oh, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, when we talk about the narcissism and egotism that goes on with all of that, how does it feel to have everybody want you, everybody needs you, everyone want to take your picture, everybody, you're the bomb, you're the guy, you're the this, everywhere you go, you notice you're taken care of, everyone sees you with a big smile, they come over to you and like, oh, Larry, and it's this you're walking around this make-believe spinning around you until it all comes till you move to like Manitoba. So how does that feel as to the ego? Does it make it worse? How does that feel?
I think there are phases. The first phase for me was, wow, this is pretty cool. And
like that.
And then the second phase was typical male identity crises. What arm piece, what car, what income, what label are you wearing? All the indulgent crap that men do sometimes, right? hopefully they don't do when they grow older. So did all of that.
Coal. This is coal.
Right. And then after that, I think eventually it becomes kind of problematic in that you start finding yourself like anxiety around all that, and you want to kind of be alone. And to this day, by the way, I prefer to just kind of be alone, but
well, you have to be since March.
Yeah, no,
like or not.
But yes, March, depending on what state you're in.
Right.
But I enjoy it. I'm grateful for it, and I've met, by the way, a lot of the fans that we've talked to on here. I know through various ways, and you come to learn these people, and some are really interesting stories. Even the actors was interesting. I won't mention the actor's name, but an actor told me recently that I never took the time to sit and talk to him. He was like a one-liner a week or whatever, and it kind of hurt his feelings that I never asked him about his life. So I was, wow, I'm really sorry. I didn't think about it. I guess I was exhausted waking up at 5:30 in the morning, get home at 10:30 at night. You came in at noon and got off at 3. But I apologize. There isn't.
Wow. You don't know how you affect other people. And that's another interesting thing. A lot of people don't know in television and movies, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. You're there early, you make up, you're all ready, but it's a lot of hanging around. And then you're like on spot. You're like a monkey in a cage, and you come out, you do your bit, and they put you away, and then they want you to come out and do the bit again. They put you back in the cage. So, when you didn't talk to somebody that actually was offended by that, you're the big guy. You're the top of the heap. You're the stars of the show. So that guy that's a little bit lower is looking at it like, well, he doesn't even say hello to me. This guy's not the right guy. And maybe
that's how I feel, John, when you don't call me back.
Like today.
Yeah.
Now we were talking about this before, Larry. I'm going to ask you this question so people know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Have you ever flown on the Lolita Express, Epstein's plane?
No, never have.
Now you know why I'm not calling you back.
Well, we just want to get that out there for the girl in New Zealand.
Yeah. Now, but have I ever flown with the Ghislaine, the Maxwell? You didn't ask.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
No.
You're 73. You shot the attack. You shot the attack. As but see, all right. So you're saying you got the thing about the ego thing going on, and you were like, you weren't the best person that you could be, and then later on you grew out of all that behavior and all that kind of stuff. Right. But you don't look back at it and think to yourself, if you could do it again. I guess in order to grow, it's like a sprout. You put it in the ground, it can never be a seed again. In order to grow, it has to start somewhere. So it's life.
You're gonna do it all the same way, Larry. You're not gonna change anything. I would.
I don't know. I think if I think I would have worked harder at marketing, because you're basically a brand, and so how do you want to establish a brand? And a lot of people misconstrue that activity as indulgence, but you're really marketing. You're trying to keep your name with sustainability, right? So that would have been one. Luckily, I did direct and produce a successful television series for 5 years, so I transitioned intellectually and financially pretty well, but still the business is ephemeral. What'd you do last week? And so don't get too carried away with yourself, because that sustainability doesn't last very long. So what would I have done better? I think that I would have been much more humble and submitted to the growth of all the actors and people around me more. So now you have a flower garden instead of a flower. It would have been a lot better, That's all.
Yeah. Sadly, Larry, next week, this is going to be the thing you did last week.
Yeah. How about acting, directing, and producing projects in the works?
No. I did a little cameo in a movie that I was really proud of, and it's a long story, so I won't bore you with it. It's about Make-A-Wish Foundation and how it came about. It's because of the Chips guys, Larry and Eric. And this little boy dying of leukemia, and then this highway patrolman got with him and let him be a motor officer, if you will. Wishman's a very good movie. You rent it on Netflix, you'll enjoy it, I think.
I will. I definitely will.
But I'm just a cameo in it. But I'm with Robert Pine, which was fun, was the sergeant on Chips. Having said that, am I doing any projects? It's really predicated on funding. So I have been wallowing in this funding thing forever, and I don't even want to talk about it. But if the funding comes through, yeah, I have about 10 projects I'm going to do. But if it doesn't, cool. I'm focused on technology. And right now my technology is UVC lights that kill COVID-19. So.
Wow, cool.
Larry, could any of those projects include John Peasy and I?
Definitely. Yeah. There's one guy milking a cow. And another guy playing with a bowling ball doing something. I don't know what he's doing.
See?
Yeah.
Listen, when Larry, when he calls, don't answer it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't answer. That's the best way to prevent.
Well, at least that guy Robert King knows who we are now, or David King. He knows who we are now.
That's right. And Walt, we're going to shoot it in Staten Island.
What? Yeah, there you go.
Not far. I'm upstate New York.
Oh, okay. You're probably up there by Niagara Falls, where it's colder than hell.
No, not that far. I'm actually by West Point.
Oh, West Point.
Yeah, by West Point, about 14 miles away.
He's 14 miles away from people that start to have teeth.
Yeah.
That's the other 14 miles. The other way.
Did you ever date a fan? That's a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. No, never have.
Huh.
That's dangerous. That's really dangerous.
Date.
Yeah, really. Yeah, right. It's all of the above. Don't define it. So I think you don't want to do that, especially today. But ever it gets really dangerous. So I don't think people.
You ever date another actress? Did you ever date another like a famous actress?
He's not
Sarah?
talking about.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that one.
See, finally.
Yeah.
A question.
When you ask him that question, you know what you hear?
What? Breathing?
Snoring.
Somebody asked here on the side, is it true that you turned down Star Wars?
No.
Okay.
No. Never got Star Wars.
Okay. No, that's really, I don't know. And here's somebody.
Star Wars.
Here's a question.
Wait a minute, you were in Star. Oh, wait a minute. He was supposed to be somebody. What was the movie he was supposed to be in?
What movie were you supposed to be in? I don't know.
Oh.
You mean Miami Vice?
Yes, Miami Vice.
Miami Vice.
Yes, TV series. Yeah.
Which one were you supposed to be?
I was supposed to be the star of it. Stubbs or
instead of
whatever his name was.
And what happened?
Crockett, Sonny Crockett, which was.
Crockett, yeah. So what happened? So I go in. Michael Mann was Michael Mann was famous producer, director, and so I go in as some guy's tired. Yeah, I know. I'm putting him to sleep. So I go in and read for Michael Mann. Michael Mann says, "Grease your hair all back, and we're going to change your look. Put stubble on you so you look like you haven't shaven, and let's make you really different. You're a really good actor, but we need to change your look." Okay. So I changed I'm an actor. What do you want me to be today? And so I did it, and they sent it to NBC. And next thing I know, Universal calls my agent and says, "Man, your client should have been a movie star. I don't know what the hell he's reading for the television series because he is that talented. We just saw his test for Miami Vice, and it's the best test I've ever seen since I've been at Universal." So my agent calls me and tells me all this stuff. The attorney that was at Universal was a friend. And so he tells him all this, and I'm pounding my chest, dude, talent.
Yeah.
And so they said, Larry, would you come back and read with the other actors? Because we're trying to find another actor, the African-American character or something thereof to go with you. Yeah, sure.
Right, that's Tubbs. That was Tubbs.
The next 6 months, I read with every actor in Hollywood. And they all knew I was going to be the star, and they were just reading with me, right? Well, the writer producer of the show, young kind of guy, he always didn't like me. He wanted more of a pretty boy, kind of a comedic guy, right? That was witty and funny. And so right around Christmas, I get a call saying, "Hey, we're really, really sorry, and we know you've put you through hell, and NBC loves you." Brandon Tartikoff wrote in his book about NBC that Larry Wilcox was the best and should have done Miami Vice. And we're going to cast somebody else. Sorry. And it was Don Johnson.
Wow.
And
Don Johnson, yeah.
Don Johnson had already read for when I had come, and they already said they didn't want him. You know, they wanted me. But in the end, I guess this writer wanted Don Johnson. So he was throwing a fit. If he didn't have him, he wasn't going to write the series, et cetera, et cetera. And so Don Johnson got the show, and Larry Wilcox went on.
Son of a bitch. I heard that Don Johnson and Eric Estrada are really good friends.
Really? I don't know. Maybe.
If anybody would know, that would be you.
Yeah,
I didn't go out when I was a kid.
But I'll tell you, you know, having looked at the show now, the way I played it, and if you look at the scene I did, I was grimy, oily, mean, badass. And Don Johnson, I think, was a better choice. It was from a marketing standpoint, it was he's a really handsome guy, and he was a real brandable character, a marketable character. I think it was the perfect choice.
He didn't chew any gum.
No.
He hated vitamin E also.
That's right.
But that's a good question, though. You said you were doing something with the UV lights. Now, I read something or I watched something recently that they said that in Vegas they were going to put the UV lights above ceilings, right? And they were going to have a fan that doesn't blow downward, that blows reverse to pull air up. Right. And so COVID that would come into, when people come into a casino or a doctor's office or whatever, as they walk in, the air would actually be pulled up so that COVID would go up, and that UV light would kill it and bring it back down as a disposable COVID death.
Right.
Is that you know anything about that with these UV lights?
I know a lot about it. So you know, there are multiple forms of making a neutral arena, if you will, in Vegas or wherever you're at.
An arena.
Yeah, and what I mean is no COVID there, no pathogens.
Wait a minute. I'm breaking your chops. I'm breaking your chops. I love you.
Go back to the bubble gum. No. So anyway, what happens is what they're talking about is something called titanium dioxide that pulls up the molecule into there, separates the bonds, and then it lets out the particles back into the air. There's no pathogens then, and it's not harmful for you. That's one. Here's the problem. Number one, when you have an ingress egress, people have to come in and out of the building. So that place has to have a portal of UVC light of 128 nanometers to kill the bacteria on you before you even go in. That's one. The second part is you need to have an air conditioning system, HVAC as they call it, an HVAC system that has the capability of removing COVID and or pathogen molecules from the air. There's HVAC systems today that do that. You can put on your house that will remove all bacteria in the air. That's the second thing that's necessary. Now, the third thing necessary is what they're doing is kind of a Mickey Mouse way of doing it, in my humble opinion. But the third thing is very dangerous for human beings, and that's what we have. We have a light. UVC has various nanometers. 128, human being can withstand. 158, it'll kill you, and it'll blind you immediately within seconds if you see it.
Exact.
So we take that high-powered 158 nanometer light and kill every pathogen in the world within 9 seconds, 100 square feet. So we can walk down the bulkhead of a Navy ship, a submarine, a casino, your bedroom, whatever, right? And that's the third way of doing it. So that's our patented technology.
That's fantastic. You know, my secretary was making fun of me a year or two ago. I bought this little plastic light.
Yeah,
this big. This big.
Yeah.
Do not go near your sheets with that.
Right.
It was like 7 inches. So, and it was a little white UV. We put the batteries in. You put it. So she would come in my office and she'd be coughing or have a cold, and I would like go over to my mouse and my pad, and I would take the UV light and wipe it up and down. And she's laughing at me, going, "You're an ass. Look what you're doing. That's BS. That's not going to work." And I kept saying, "No, I read about this technology. This kills all germs, 99.9% of germs." So I have this little blue.
Guys, you just lost 75 viewers.
Yeah, but here's what. But it does, by the way. Here's the problem with it. You have to have it within 6 inches of the substrate or the surface that you're trying to kill the bacteria on. So if you're within 6 inches, no problem. If you're farther away, it does nothing.
How do you know all about this?
because I'm part of the sales and marketing team. I'm a principal in the company, so I need to know it. And if I do a comparative matrix of everything that's in the marketplace today compared to our product, if I can't win that argument in that sales, and I'm just a bullshit artist, then
right.
I'm wasting everybody's time. So
What's the name of that company? What's the website or Facebook or what is it for?
We don't want it. We don't have it. We don't even want anyone to know yet. We want to sign contracts with military experts and all kinds of applications, and then perhaps we'll release it.
I get you. You're in the process of moving that around. Yeah.
By the way, there is for you guys, there's another company I used to be associated with called Optec, OPTEC, UVC. Optec UVC. Now they sell the wands, which you were referring to, that little thing that you go on here, but they make a really good one, and they sell a bigger one that I don't really believe in, called the Rover, and they sell some other devices that UVC that kills bacteria. So you could go there and order a wand online and get it in the next couple of days.
We see, this is fascinating. I didn't know, because I mean I've read some stuff about this. I've been reading all kinds of things, and I even read the far-fetched kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, and
he's a conspiracy theories guy.
Yeah, right. I actually believe Larry is part of the Illuminati right now, and we're all doomed.
Of course he is.
I'm in a different dimension. I'm not Larry, by the way. The North Pole's about ready to be the South Pole. Have you seen the solar flares coming from the sun?
There you go.
There you go, John. There's the solar flares.
There you go, solar flare. Well, I've been talking about that for years. They always say this is, but that's not what this show is about. This show is about fun. As a matter of fact, you know what's interesting? I have some videos here, Walt, that I don't know if we should play them or not, but we have auditions and stuff of Larry performing.
All right.
I have the Class of 30 Dozen. We have the Dalton Gang video, and we have a video of a Miami Vice screen test.
All right, do the screen test on it. But more importantly, real quick, is anybody else making comments that they love me and think I'm funny?
We had 2 this night, so your ego is really up to check. Next thing you know, Walt's going to do is go buy a big car.
That's right.
He's going to get hair implants. He's going to lose weight with DHEA and testosterone.
Do you know what? Yeah, right. Do you know what cars we got? Eric Estrada, when he sued MGM, I had a favored nations clause in my contracts, which means favored nations, whatever he gets, I get, no matter what, and vice versa.
Really?
Yeah. He got a brand new Rolls Royce, a white one with red interior. I got a brand black one with tan interior. Cornish's convertibles. I'd wear my cowboy hat and drive that down Hollywood, and people say, "Hey, cowboy!" All the
how is a driver a brand new Rolls Royce? If you get, that's going to make you like. No wonder why your ego blows up. And
yeah.
But, I want that clause with you, Peasy.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
You're going to get the realest thing in the world. Santa Claus is the only clause you get.
I want that clause with you, man. Whatever you get, I get.
Okay, fair enough. I have AIDS.
All right, I sign off.
Which one of these do you want me to? You think is best to show, Larry?
Screen test.
It's his stuff.
Do Dirty. Do Dirty Dozen, because they're not as long. Okay. They don't want to watch Miami Vice. It's too long. It's really good, I think, but it's too long.
Okay, I'll do the Dirty Dozen one. This is a quick video of the Dirty Dozen. There you go.
Good old Lee Marvin.
Didn't seem like that much at the time. Just some souvenirs.
I know. I've done it myself.
Yeah, I knew you had.
Only the Army calls it looting.
Oh, yes, sir. See, that's why you got to get me out of here. I'm not used to being caged up like this. And I joined the Army because I wanted to be a soldier. I'll do anything you say. I mean, I can fight. I can kill, too. I can blow those Nazis to hell. I just want to go home with a chest full of medals. You know what I mean?
I hope you do.
We don't own this clip.
That's great. That's really great.
That was that was a little crazy. You were playing like a little crazy guy.
So this interesting. This guy Andrew McLaughlin was a great guy and 6'7" director, and when you feel like you're talented, you know that you're talented when the same director keeps hiring, just Larry, I'm going to do this movie. Can you come in? Yeah. And so they the same thing. I did a movie for him called The Last Hard Men, and they write these scripts and they don't write any character. And it's like, what is this role really in here for, right? And so you have to create something. So he shaves his head and he's playing artificial baseball. There's no baseball. He's playing softball and pitching to people all the time, right? And he has some weird mannerisms. And later in the movie, he's stealing the medals off the Germans and putting them on himself. You know, he's so proud of himself. So you're doing everything you can to create a character within a movie. And in the end, you have a sustainability, if you will. People say later, wow, that was a cool character, you know, or same thing with Last Hard Men. Yeah, and you created it. It's not written in the script. Cool. Yeah, it was fun.
Like we do with this.
That's right.
We got to rock, man. We got to rock. We're an hour and 32
I know. Bro. I didn't plan on going this long. I got to tell you, I hope we do it again sometime because Larry's a pleasure to talk to. And I got to tell you, Larry, there's people. I'm amazed at how beloved you are across this. And I could see that you are really down there, but it's beloved
in countries.
Yeah. It's amazing how. And by the way, what you put out is what you get back. And so this is not an accident. You know, there's no accidents in the universe. More importantly, I would hope to do this again sometime. It's so much fun. We really try to do a show, right, Walt? Are you frozen, Walt?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Let me go. Let me back to Walt. Actually, this is Walt's new laugh. I was going to say that this whole show is really about. I wanted to ask you, like, what's your favorite chocolate? What's your favorite movie? Where did you grow up? Who's the first girl that you wanted to date? You remember this? You remember that? Nothing to do with chips at all. And yet we still went down the chip line because people really want to know all these things. They really want to hear all the things that have gone on. So it's really cool. Let me get rid of Walt. It's really cool. By the way, Walt, I'm going to get a big new Mercedes, and I'm going to give you a Datsun 62.
Datsun B210. I had one. I had a Datsun B210.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That was a cool car.
Growing up, white Datsun B210.
We're going to have
red seats with red seats.
Well, I was in Vietnam. I'll be quick because I know you got to go. I was in Vietnam.
We don't have to go. He has to pee.
Oh,
the prostate issue.
Yeah, 13 months in Vietnam, and they said, "Do you want to stay another 6 months?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to extend for 6 more months, so I'll be here 19 months in Vietnam, right?" And they said, "Okay, well, why are you extending? You know, we're right on the DMZ. This is a hot zone in 1967, 68, and because this is what a hick I was, because in 6 more months." I'll have enough money to buy me an XKE Jaguar 1968. I mean, what a retard, right? You to stay in Vietnam. Yeah, to get a car.
Well, at least you didn't do it for a woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Could have been.
Shoulda, coulda.
Look at this. Speaking of, there's the picture of the bike.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the bike you could have had.
That's a phallic symbol.
Yes, it is a phallic symbol. As a matter of fact, back then it's hard. Today it's soft.
That's a hog. That's a hog right there.
There you go. Well, that's a pleasure. Hey, so listen, people would like to follow up with you. I know somebody said that you have a great Facebook page, but people that would like to see Larry can go. There's a lot of clips of Larry performances and the Miami Vice screen test, the Last Ride, Adult and Gang at LarryWilcox.net. And you could also see Larry on those pages actually singing that wonderful song that we saw earlier, as well as you can download it and make it a ringtone for your phone. So go to LarryWilcox.net to get that ringtone. I'm going to get one of those ringtones. How about you, Walt?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that.
Oh, come on, Walt. I
don't even know how to put a ringtone on my phone.
Hey, Walt, I'm going to be on The Voice next week, so you should see me on The Voice.
There you go. Larry, pleasure. Totally pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Larry.
And thank you
for your service, pal. Thank you for your service.
Like a
Marine Corps.
Very fun. Thank you guys in the back. Thank you, Larry. This is so much fun. We'll see you guys next week. And I hope you do it again, Larry, because you are definitely a gentleman. Too much fun.
All right. God bless. Bye-bye.
Ciao, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
and by the way, guys, Walt, what are we supposed to say here?
Visit our Facebook page and YouTube.
Like
our Facebook page and visit our YouTube channel.
There's one more thing. Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe. We want
Hey.
subscribers.
Yeah, subscribe.
Larry knows all about subscririers.
Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And we'll be
We
back.
would love to get a $36.10 check as well. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks, Larry.
Ciao, Larry. Thank you, guys. All right, we'll pop it out. This was so much fun. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. Like, subscribe, and share. Share as much as you can. I really enjoyed this one out of all of them the most. I think this was too much fun to me. I'm sorry, I'm looking off to the left. I'm looking off to the right. We want to thank you guys for showing up, and you're all the best. Stay healthy is what we want to say. That's the most important part. Like, subscribe, and we're not gone yet. I made
Why
believe
would
we're
we be gone?
Why are we gone?
Why
I'm
would
going
we
to be
have so
gone.
much more to say? We should bring this like to the 2-hour mark.
No, we're not going to do it. Goodbye. We're still here.
I don't know about that, Larry Wilcox.
He's gone.
Crazy.
He's
I think he was
really
lying
gone.
about a lot of stuff.
He's
He lied about
gone.
a lot of stuff.
He's playing with his hog.